Hi, it's Ann Margolis, the midwife behind Home Sweet Homebirth. And as promised, each month I will answer some of the most common questions submitted. Um, Lots were personal, but I'm going to try to answer the best I can. As I say, there's no one size fits all. Um, if you need any personal guidance, you're certainly welcome to schedule a chat with me on my website, Home Sweet Home Birth / chat with Anne. But no surprise, this month, the vast majority of questions were about the coronavirus. Several of you asked me how I'm handling it, what I'm doing personally to avoid it or prevent it, what I recommend, am I concerned about it, implications for pregnant women and their babies. So, first of all, my heart goes out to so many of those who have been impacted. Of course, uh, by the illness, but it's so much more. People are losing their jobs, their income, um, critical life events are being canceled around the globe. Talking about, like big family celebrations, weddings, funerals, all sorts of games, shows, concerts, events that people have planned, schools, what impact that has on the families and on the children of, what's going on. And the biggest, my biggest heartfelt compassion is for all of those who are just in a state of panic. The internal stress and panic and hysteria that people are suffering with, and what that does to our health, our relationships, our families, and our children. So before I get into the remedies, since you asked what I'm doing, I'm going to be pretty honest. And hopefully that will inspire you or not. But I'm going to tell you what I'm doing. So, number one, I am boycotting the news. That's right. I am boycotting it. I really feel the news is spreading a worse illness called fear, hysteria, and madness. And I refuse to look at it, listen to it, or watch it, or read it, or anything. Um, I'm really making a conscious choice to live in calm, so I can make better, more effective, safer, sensible decisions from that state. News does not equal fact, and it's actually deliberately profit driven to be more sensational, uh, to make money, and not be inspirational. So I am very selective on what I choose to read, watch, and listen to. And right now, I'm even guarding that more carefully. So, um, there's a select group of integrative healthcare providers and physicians and midwives that are and not and trusted evidence-based sources, um, and as a that I'm getting information from, and as a nurse midwife, I get the latest guidelines. But I'm I encourage you to be selective. Certainly, the World Health Organization and the CDC right now are trusted sources in terms of what we can do from the public health standpoint, what you can do as an individual. That being said, there is really so much that's unknown right now. There's a lot of uncertainty, even among the researchers, even among the scientists, even among specialized infectious disease physicians. So I'm drawing on, in addition to my, my science, my background that I have, my experienced, midwifery background that I have, I'm drawing on my yoga practice, which really teaches me to embrace the unknown, and I really feel like this is even like an opportunity to do that even more. I can still act with what I do know, and make decisions based on the educated and intuitive wisdom that has guided me until now. I do like to be curious. What is this teaching me? What is, like, kind of take a step back and what can I learn from this? How can I grow from this? Because that's a more empowered mindset to me than sort of a victim, poor me. And believe me, I have a lot of challenges in my life that I could go that route, but it's never produced anything other than suffering. So this is, I'm just sharing you how I help myself and how I help others. I am taking one day at a time. I'm staying very present, and I am, I'm not going to deny my spiritual perspective. I'm really trusting in the infinite, in the divine, whatever you call it, God, source, energy, that created our bodies, our amazing bodies, that created and runs the world, basically, this miraculous world. I believe that divine source is trustable, is dependable, loves us, and is beneficent, even when we don't understand the whys. I just cannot deny my spiritual perspective, and it is a spiritual perspective that has gotten most of us throughout history through such trying times. I love Byron Katie and her work around loving what is. She really lives and walks her talk. All is perfect. It's meant to happen. Instead of saying this shouldn't happen, actually it is happening, so it should happen. And it's meant to happen even if we don't like it. And her famous saying that I love is, when we argue with reality, we lose, only 100% of the time. So I'm choosing to kind of go with the flow rather than fight or resist or complain about what I can't control. And that's a lesson for labor and life and all the challenges that can come up as just a part of being human. I know that this is temporary. The only thing I'm certain about is change, and this too shall pass. That being said, I am doing my part and doing what I can do to help others, to prevent and to, the spread, which is really to protect the most vulnerable. Rest assured that at least what I am understanding now is close to about 85% of people don't even know that have the coronavirus, don't know they have it. So they're sort of asymptomatic carriers, or they have a mild cold or flu-like illness. Those who do get very sick or could get very sick are not in the pregnant newborn category. They are over 65 years old. They are usually suffering from a variety of other chronic medical diseases like diabetes and cancer, or they're on steroids for that's suppressing their immune system, chronic respiratory conditions, smoking. So I definitely understand that pregnant women and their families are concerned. I mean, who wouldn't be? But I want to reassure you that when a pregnant woman and her baby are healthy without any underlying issues that would, quote unquote, make them more high risk to develop complications from the virus, what we know so far is very reassuring. The risk of developing any serious complications is really extremely rare for both mom and baby. So what self-care can you do? What can you do when everything's just out of our control right now? But there are things that you can do. So like I said, I would start by, turning off the news and being very selective what you watch, minimizing the time online and on social media. Even though I have a social media page, I'm really encouraging you to only to minimize it and to do it if it's nurturing to you, if it's inspiring to you. Otherwise, stay away. It's so important now to do what you can to reduce stress and keep inner calm. Do what you love. Be outside in nature. Just connect to nature. You can be outside, take a walk in the park, a walk outside. My go-tos are always, my breath work and my yoga practice, practicing mindfulness. You can do it anytime. It doesn't, busy mamas, let's be mindful while we're washing our hands for 20 seconds. Let's just really pay attention and stay present to what we're doing. Brushing our teeth, and it doesn't have to be like sitting in meditation, although I find that sitting in meditation and practicing breath work is really a key, even if you have 10 minutes. We really have to understand that fear and hysteria and inner stress is the main sickness right now, while not, making light of the pandemic that is spreading across the world. I'm going to tell you actually what I do in my visualization, and I've done this for years, and I've taught my clients how to do this. And so whatever it is, so in this case, it's a healthy immune system. I take what it is that I desire, and I imagine in a meditation, in a meditative state, and I visualize as if it's already happening. So I am I'm doing breath work, and I'm keeping my focus, internally or externally on some drishti, a non-moving place in the distance, a tree, or over the horizon where the floor meets the wall, and I am literally visualizing what my immune system as healthy, as resilient. And I am visualizing myself feeling awesome and vibrantly healthy, and really feeling the gratitude and what it feels like, and the freedom to feel that. And I'm living from that place. I am choosing not to live from the past, right? I am visualizing what I want and feeling what it's like to have that. I'm not making this up. This is neuroplasticity and epigenetics, and there's plenty of amazing doctors who use this in their practice. If you would want to learn more about it, I would definitely take Dr. Joe Dispenza's course online, read his book, Be Your Own Placebo. I mean, he's having amazing effects with people who have serious illness. So he's using the latest cutting edge research and science to do this, but it certainly can't hurt. It can only help. So there's also what's important is to move your body. So get out and walk, be active, get the fresh air, walk 10, 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes most days, a brisk walk. And there's some really good online programs that you can do to take classes like Yoga Glow. I love African dance, so there's, let me see if I can pronounce it, kukuwafitness.com. You can take online African dance at home. It's an online fitness. And what is it that we can do at home to enjoy it? Can we get things done that we haven't gotten done before? Can we just be with our family? Can we learn something new? Can we create art? Listen to a good comedy, watch a good historical drama, read, learn, listen to other inspiring healers, and there's plenty of that online. So really take seriously what we can do to maintain inner calm. The next is really important, is to get plenty of rest and sleep. So I know many of you have babies that wake up in the middle of the night, but it's that is crucial for a healthy immune system, is a 7 to 8 hour at least night of sleep. And if you're not getting that, implement some sort of rest period during the day. Even a 20-minute shavasana is like equivalent to a 2-hour power nap for the body. Very important is eating healthfully, and a whole food, plant-based diet with healthy animal protein and fat. Most people do feel better on a paleo sort of diet. If you're vegan or vegetarian, if you're vegetarian, definitely make sure you get plenty of eggs, and but stay away from, there's like the inflammatory foods, which are cow dairy and gluten, soy and corn and sugar, and processed like junk food, that chemicals and things like that. So just really eating. Thinking of how we ate, our ancestors ate for thousands of years, what we could hunt and what we could gather. As long, is pastured organic, and you can order it online. So that, to keep our bodies nice and strong, staying away from all the chemical garbage that they stick in the products that they tell us are food. Drink lots of water, filtered water, spring water, and take prenatal vitamins. My favorite brands are the Innate Response or New Chapter. It's based on whole food, organic vitamins, like what we can't get from our diet alone. Nordic Natural or Arctic omega 3s. Make sure you get enough D. Your level should be at least 70. It's very hard in today's world to get up to that, but you can supplement. Like Pure Encapsulations is a wonderful brand. You just take a drop or a dropper full. And yeah, a really good probiotic. I like Greens First probiotic for women, and extra vitamin C. So Innate or New Chapter sells the whole food vitamin C. You can take up to 1,000 or 2,000 milligrams just for prevention. Stay out of crowds. So we all know that kind of, foot or elbow some, people to say hello. And but really, if anybody's, the way it's mostly passed is if someone with symptoms is coughing and sneezing directly in your face. So, you they're saying keep a social distance, 6 feet, not isolation. It's really important that you are not isolated and that you're with close family and friends who, don't have any symptoms. Of course, before touching your face, your eyes, your nose, your mouth, they're recommending really good hand washing. So that's 20 to 30 seconds of, use regular soap. I'm not a big fan, and there's a lot of integrative practitioners who are not a big fan of the antibacterial, or soaps that the hand sanitizers, because it really destroys your healthy microbiome that's on your hands, that actually protects the immune system. So good hand washing is really all you need, and before you touch your face. And yes, so there are remedies to boost your immune system that can not only help prevent a cold or a flu-like illness, but can shorten the duration and the severity. And they have been used, by my practice, by similar integrative holistic practices, herbalists, holistic providers and other cultures for many for thousands of years around the world. There's a lot of research on it, but not necessarily proven. The standard random controlled trials that is used in modern medicine, but there's enough research that, and my own personal experience and the experience of many others who I trust, in my years of practicing, that this stuff works. And modern medicine currently has no remedy to boost your immune system against viruses. So, yes, even though we're going with, we don't really know yet, we can't prove that this works with coronavirus. I have, for years, used these for all sorts of viruses, and at the first sign of any kind of infection, to either prevent or treat, and it works. I mean, I'm in awe of it. Certainly, this would include gargling with salt water, Himalayan sea salt, like a half a teaspoon, a few times a day, 20, 30 seconds. Drinking hot lemon water with some manuka honey, a little pinch of cayenne pepper, drinking fresh ginger tea with a little manuka honey, eating drinking bone broth is very nurturing for your immune system. So is 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar with manuka honey. Lots of garlic, like taking a bulb, separating it into cloves and sauteing it or baking it with salt, pepper, and olive oil, and you could have an entire bulb a day. Using a humidifier with essential oils, thieves or its components. Taking zinc lozenges, make sure they're in the lozenge form, 10 to 15 milligrams. And there are other, like I take a homeopathic remedy. I take a whole bunch of things, like the Asian mushrooms, medicinal mushrooms, like in Stamets 7 or My Community Host Defense makes it. Viracom has a lot of really good herbs and supplements to boost the immune system, like elderberry. So, there's a whole bunch of other things that I would recommend if somebody comes down with it. That's a whole different lecture. And I definitely, if you go on my website, homesweethomebirth.com, many of the safe remedies to take for cold and flu. There's a blog on that, and that will be coming out also in the second edition of my my book, which has much more expanded all the natural remedies that you could take from, echinacea and oil of oregano and NAC and thymus glandular. I mean, there's so many, there's Chinese herbs. There's a lot of remedies that really work to boost the immune system. Not all recommended in pregnancy, so that's why, it's not a one-size-fits-all. That would be more specific to what the person is experiencing. But right now, if you think you have symptoms, I would definitely call your provider. Because it is cold and flu season, many of the times the tests come back and there's no coronavirus, even though sometimes the tests there's some false positive and negative. There are still, you need to contact your provider and make sure that they are following careful, evidence-based prevention strategies. And many of them, many of my colleagues as well, we're doing more Skype and Zoom and telemedicine, and really limiting visits right now until they're absolutely necessary. An excellent, one of my favorite resources is avivaram.com. She's a doctor, midwife, and herbalist, and she is writing some wonderful articles on the coronavirus. All the supplements that I recommend for cold and flu are on my online apothecary. You can go on that, homesweethomebirth.com/supplements. And I am just wishing you health and vitality and calm and joy during these even most challenging times. And you can absolutely still have a most wonderful, beautiful, healthy birth. Until next time, bye-bye.